What's up, Cowboys?
What's up, YouTube? My Cowboys family, bringing you guys the latest update after that LA Rams game last night.
Yeah, even though it was a loss, we don't care about wins or losses in preseason. We care first and foremost about, well, seeing our guys do great, which they did. And another thing, which another thing that we definitely want to be sure about is no injuries.
That's right.
Hello, Wolf Rider. How you doing out there?
What's up, Wolf? How you doing?
You'll be helping us mod today, all right? It's going to be a quick live stream. Not much to talk about. We did a 2.5-hour one, 3-hour one last night for the game. It was in 2 parts because we had to split it up by half. With a little technical error on our side. Don't worry, that's not going to happen too often. And again, if it happens again, just join it again. No big deal.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and get right to it. Like we said, no injuries during the game. Only one person was injured on the last play of the game.
Second to last play.
Yeah, it was a fourth stringer, fifth stringer,
tight end. Our fourth or fifth, or actually like our fifth or sixth tight end.
Yeah.
Number 86, his name is Connor Hamlet. So Hamlet, unfortunately,
suffered a broken ankle, but you know, we wish him all the best. But
it's gonna hurt him.
How it hurts the Cowboys, it doesn't.
It doesn't hurt the Cowboys, and for the future, you know, it's it's for him personally. He could probably maybe try to get on the practice squad on another team, or maybe find somewhere another team some other time. But unfortunately for him, he's out of commission for a season, so hurts him personally. It doesn't really hurt us as a Cowboy team. So. Yeah, that's sad for him. But again, for our Cowboys, it didn't really hurt us at all. I want to say I'm wearing my Dak shirt, from Romo. Now, let's see. We're going to, first off, Wolf, hope you're doing good. Hope you're getting ready for tomorrow, if you know what I mean. So it's got to be an early night for you.
All right, so we'll give it another minute or two, wait for a few more of you guys to get here.
Yeah, I know. That's what I meant. So I'm sure we'll see you around when dropping ours off. So, you got to get to bed early tonight.
But yeah, so we'll just give it a few more minutes for a few of you guys to show up. But like we said, no injuries. The
only injury was our backup, our sixth string tight end, who was going to be cut anyways. Not the biggest loss. Of course, everybody still knows about that Zeke thing and the Zeke incident that, he's been suspended for.
Jason Garrett, I think, made a pretty good statement about it, and the way that he's handling it, the way that the team is choosing to handle it, leaves me a little more on the positive side on that. I think that they are handling it the right way. So, let's just hope that the lawyers do their job and succeed in proving Zeke's innocence in this instance. So
yeah, that's what we're banking on when it comes to the Zeke, Zeke situation. Obviously, nothing's changed about that. What I've heard, and this is something that's going to be coming up probably the next day or two, but I think by Tuesday he's going to probably appeal it officially. I think Wednesday's the last day he gets to do it, or if it's Wednesday, he's going to do it Tuesday. If it's Tuesday, he's going to do it tomorrow. Either way.
Yeah. Definitely keep your eyes open for that sometime this upcoming week.
Yeah, I mean, Zeke's going to definitely file the appeal. And then we'll go from there and see what's next. So really nothing new on the Zeke news front. We're not going to try to bog it down with that. I'm trying to see if we got a couple more Cowboy fans in here joining us here in a minute.
If you're watching, make sure to say hi, guys.
Yeah, so we know you're there. Hit like. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, definitely let us know. All right.
So let's see. Let's go ahead and move on to some of our suspended guys.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so we know who's suspended to start the season, guys, and that's going to be, as of right now, it's Zeke, barring any kind of, legal appeals or injunctions.
Even with the appeals, like we said, we do still expect him to face some kind of a suspension. So
no matter what,
count on him being out at least 2 games. But you never know.
Again, because, hey, Cowboys fans, 0309. I know, we still got that MSC. We got our eyes set on the alleyway. What's up?
What's up, guys?
Good to see you guys on here. Hit like, and we like. But yeah, speaking of our suspended guys, all right. So Irving's gone 4 games. David Irving, who I gotta say, last night looked unbelievable. David Irving played fantastic. Number 95. He was playing inside. He was playing outside. It didn't matter. Nobody could really stop him last night. And that was against the starting team with the Rams. Not saying that they were that great, but he did fantastic. Now, unfortunately, he's gone 4 games. So the reason I'm saying this, guys, is, you too. We got two in here that's going to school tomorrow. But I do want to say that's why we're doing it a little earlier tonight, so you guys can get to bed on time. But no, what I did want to stress about Irving is that he did fantastic. He is missing 4 games, and the reason we're going through these suspensions right now, real quick, is because it's going to open up 50-man. It's going to open up about 6 to 7 roster spots on our 53-man roster.
Exactly. So some of the questions that we've been having, for example, guys like Noah Brown, who also had an amazing game yesterday. You know, what are we going to do? Are we going to keep a 6th receiver on our team? Or do we cut that position in favor of more depth at the running back position, especially with Zeke's suspension? I mean, you know, these suspensions really affect who can end up on the team, regardless of some of the talent that we might be seeing out here. Yeah,
and that's the thing too. You know, it's like it's a big deal to. I mean, it's an important thing to know. If we're going to be missing Irving, Zeke, let's assume we lose Zeke. So we got Zeke gone. So that means it's going to open up another running back spot for Alfred Morris or Ronnie Hillman, which I think I see both of them making the team right now. I think Rod Smith. Z and of course Zeke's on the team, but he would be on a different list. He would have been a 53-man roster. What's up, Rack City?
So hey, Rack City. So it looks like all of us are all starting school. Okay. Besides our children starting up school soon. Yeah. You know, most of us are heading back to class as well. So.
Yeah. So I mean, and again, I want to stress that these suspensions and even the injuries with Crawford, maybe Chaz Green, we don't know what's with any other injuries that come the next couple of weeks, which we're going to have some. These guys might be put on a PUP, which is physically unable to perform list, which then opens up another spot if they're injured. Then we have the suspension guys, which like I said, Irving 4 games, Demontre Moore, who played fantastic last night. Even though he was against backups and third stringers, he played great. He's got that quarterback rush. That's all we need him for. That's all we need him for. We don't need him to stop the run. We got guys that can stop the run. We need him to rush the passer, and that's his specialty. So Demontre Moore looking great, but is missing 2 games. So you got Irving 4 games, Moore 2 games, and that means that we're going to be able to carry 2 more guys for 2 games, and then one of those 2 guys can stay for 4 games because of the suspension. Now, we're also going to have Nolan Carroll going to be probably suspended. I don't know when that's coming down, but when it does, he'll be suspended for a game or 2. Damian Wilson, I mean, with the gun charge.
We still have no idea how long he's going to be suspended for, but he will also be suspended. So
yeah, unfortunately, he'll probably be gone for, I'm thinking, 4 to 6 games, if not more. So again, when you look at that, I mean, he's going to be probably suspended as well. And you got, of course, Randall Gregory. He's already on a special list that he's not playing this whole year. So when you look at that, you got 5 or 6 spots opening up. So again, when we talk about these guys that are on the bubble, it could definitely mean that they're going to be making the team, but just maybe for a couple weeks or a month into the season until we get our other main guys back. And if they make an impression, somebody else will get cut. But it gives these guys that we're not sure about time. Now, we're going to touch on Xavier Woods in a minute. Let me just go over. I just wanted to go over that. So first off, before anybody gets crazy about like the guys like Noah Brown, the guys like I'm trying to think some other guys like Taco. I mean, he had his first sack yesterday. Everybody's really celebrating that.
To see, of course.
Yeah, I mean, he played against a scrub. Nonetheless, though, for his confidence, we needed that. We needed him to have a sack, and he did. So I mean, I think for Taco and all the stuff he's been taking, and again, we've been giving it to him too in a way, in the sense that we know that he's a first-round pick. But we also know he's a project to work in the future for us more so. So just seeing a little sliver of greatness come out on one play against the scrub and against their backups, it's okay. We'll take it. He looked quick, once he got past his guy, and the guy wasn't a great blocker, but again, he at least got a sack. That makes him happy. It gives him a little bit more to put on his resume, so to speak, to get him to the next step of maybe being more consistent. So we liked what we saw from Taco. Obviously, everybody did.
Exactly.
Irving, we discussed him already. We loved what he showed yesterday. Again, we had to wait 4 games for him. Now let's see who else we liked. We liked what's his name?
Cooper Rush?
No, Wilbur.
Kyle Wilbur.
Kyle Wilbur. There we go. Kyle Wilbur, number 51, who actually I think started last night, and he's just going to be he's kind of all around kind of player, can do all the linebacker spots, I think. So he's going to be good depth for us. And he looked good last night. I will say number 51 looked good.
Definitely better than he's looked in the past. So it's good to see. He's always been average but very consistent. So that's one thing that you can give him credit for. He is very consistent.
Yeah, he seems pretty good.
Very rarely injured.
Yeah, and he's a special teams player too. So remember, he has a lot of uses for us also. Not that he's going to do this. I know somebody complained about me saying this, but this Kyle Wilbur can also play defensive end. in a pinch. Obviously, not every play, not every down. We have a rotational
but
defense.
You never know, especially with this Cowboys team. So anytime we have any player that can do more than one job, that's always going to help us out a lot more.
So that's good. And Wilbur looked great. Of course, Noah Brown, you spoke about him at 85. He looks like he's called Baby Dez. Let's clarify that. He looks like Dez. He got the body like Dez. He didn't drop anything really yesterday. He made some great catches, made some great moves. Other than that running play where he got it in the open and he knocked it out with his other hand.
Yeah,
but recover that fumble? Another guy that we all talking about. Rico Gathers.
That's right. So
Rico recovered that fumble, and he also,
he also, of course, got the touchdown.
Yeah, and he made a lot of great catches. He had like 4 or 5 great catches.
So again, it's really nice to see Rico being used that way. I definitely want to continue to keep an eye on his blocking. He definitely still has a way to go with that, but he still has made, progress by leaps and bounds. And I mean, he's really starting to look like
they're coming to his own.
Yeah, he worked very hard to secure that spot on the 53, which we're so far looking like he is going to get. So I think there's no question about it. Yeah. He's going to stay with this team.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I loved what I see from Rico. His size, 6'8", his hands are looking really good. I mean, he hasn't. I don't think he's dropped the pass. I mean, the guy's looking great in both games. So as long as he continues consistently around this path, he's on the team. I mean, he's going to be on the team. He's going to do really good. I think he's going to definitely open things up for us as well. The only thing he needs to still fix is the blocking.
That's right.
He needs to get better with blocking. Once he gets that down, I mean, the sky's the limit for him, and he will be that heir apparent to Witten.
Exactly. But again, no one better to teach you how to block than Jason Witten himself. So hopefully, again, as the season keeps going, things like that, he'll keep improving.
Yeah, for sure.
So speaking of major improvements and disappointments, Kellen Moore, again, guys, we've said it before, we've never been big fans of his. From what he showed us this game, it just kind of backs up what we've been saying.
Yeah, I mean, Kellen Moore had a lot of completions like last game, but the problem is with his completions last night and the night before and last week, where they were most of his passes the first week were dump offs, except for a couple of long passes which were okay, but the guys were either wide open or they made the receivers made great, catches for Moore to improve his stats. Last night, he didn't even go down the field, and when he did, it looked horrible. He was throwing,
so I'm not sure. I think it was you, Rack City, who said, or maybe it was someone else who said he was just doing pump and dump, like just short, like dump offs, like
those dink and dunk plays. They get you the completions, but they don't get you first downs. And he also dunked it off to like Mcfadden and another player early in the beginning of the game, where he just put.
I think.
Andy Jones. Yeah, I mean, he gave him the ball in situations where they had no place to run. They couldn't get to the first down. Mcfadden was throwing the ball. He couldn't catch it because the guy was right in his face. It's poor decision making.
And a lot of those completions, honestly, weren't so much because of Moore's, great quarterbacking ability. It was more the physicality of the guys that he was throwing to, that these guys were able to kind of bend and stretch and make that catch.
And those are the other completions. Those are the completions he had. But then the easy completions, he had at least most of those, 75% of those completions were short dump offs that nobody had to make any special play on because it was just like a 3-yard gain, and it was like they needed 10 yards to get a first down. So it doesn't make sense. I don't like what Moore's doing. I still don't like what he's doing. I've been saying from the beginning of the season. So have you. We both saying it. But we did like last night, and I know he's playing against backups and third stringers.
Yeah.
But let's see. It's going to be Cooper Rush. Keep an eye on this guy.
I agree. So, and especially because, again, like we've said, Moore has never shown us more. Okay? We've seen the best that he's given us, and we've seen him be pushed. At least with Cooper Rush, if he's performing like this now, what abilities can he show us when he's pushed? And honestly, you never know. You just never know.
I mean, he's going to be pushing more for that backup's position now.
Exactly. So, and I definitely don't see the Cowboys keeping more than 2 quarterbacks on the team, especially with all these injuries, all these suspensions, all these other positions that need more depth other than quarterbacking spots.
So it looks like there's going to be 2 spots open. That's the thing that really is the concerning part of things. It's going to be the fact that he's not going to have we're going to have 2 spots available for this team at quarterback because of Zeke. And this is the probable suspension that's going to go into the season. Let's just assume that it goes that way. We're going to have to carry probably 4 running backs and a fullback, which is going to lessen our chance to keep Zeke news on Tuesday, right? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Zeke's supposed to, and it's Zeke. Just saying, But no, Rack City, Tuesday, and we discussed this a little earlier before you jumped on. that he's going to be that Zeke's going to be filing the appeal 100%.
Yeah. So, but expect it 24 hours before he's supposed to. Like, so whatever the last day is,
I think it's Wednesday,
like Tuesday or Wednesday. He's going to be doing it the day before. So, either way, we might still see some more Zeke news tomorrow, and we'll be giving you guys any updates.
It seems like Zeke is trying what his attorney and his people are telling him. It's like to wait as long as you can, because what happens then is when you do that,
it actually pushes their decision.
Well, and also, once he puts it in, it gives them 10 days from there. So it's going to push it to very close, right, bordering alongside the beginning of the season. So it's going to really make the NFL and Goodell come up with an answer quick. And if they don't, and he goes to court with the injunction and tries to go for that, it's going to delay it some more. So they know what they're doing. They're definitely trying. I can see them trying to get Zeke on the field there for week 1, and then we'll see what happens after that. But it's definitely something that to look towards. There's a plan here with Zeke and Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. So don't worry yet, too much about that, guys, yet, as far as the Cowboy fans are concerned.
So, and Hollywood said, can you talk about the whole NFC East preseason week 1? We'll be talking more about the whole NFC East before week 1, of course, the game. So we'll be taking a little bit more in depth, obviously, with the Giants, since we will be facing them week 1. But we will be doing a whole overall NFC East look. Just to see where everybody's standing.
That's going to be like the last 10 days before the season starts. And those days, and then we're going to throw in one of each of the NFC East teams. But I will say, I didn't really get to watch many of the NFC East games this weekend. I just saw some highlights. Eagles, like I said, we just talked about them yesterday, Holloway. They look good, on offense. Defense looks pretty decent, too. The Giants' offensive line, not so good. Running game, not so good for the Giants. But their defense looks decent. Everything is kind of what we expected. Again, it's not much to bank on right here. Just one preseason game, guys.
It's still too early in the preseason as well, because remember, even we had an extra, week head start to kind of get a look at our guys. And even in just that span of 1 week, things have changed. Yeah, dramatically. Dramatically. So honestly, until it gets to the end of training camp, we'll go ahead and see.
And the preseason. I mean, then we could kind of make a better assessment on your team.
Turn on the Seahawks game. We'll be turning it on as soon as the stream is over.
Yeah, we always have it on, but sometimes you can't do 24/7 football.
Yeah, guys, real life.
We got work and life and kids, and so we got to do things. But yeah, I mean, you guys keep us up to date on those other teams too, and we appreciate any help you guys can provide in the stream here in the chat. Welcome to talk amongst yourselves as well if you'd like. But Rack City, I know it's Ezekiel. I said I make a joke when I call him Zeke. It's Z-K-E. I actually made that mistake last year, the same one you did. It's all good. But let's see here. Now I want to jump back to some of we talked about Irving. We talked about Kellen Moore. We talked about Kyle Wilbur. We talked about Taco. We talked about Noah Brown. We talked about Cooper Rush. We talked about Rico Gathers. And we talked about Demontre Moore. Now, and we talked about the guy who got injured. The only injury we had last night was Connor Hamlet, our 5th or 6th tight end. Feel bad for him, but he wasn't going to make the team. So it doesn't really hurt the Cowboys directly. It hurts his future, his career, but it doesn't hurt the Cowboys. So wish them best of luck, but go Cowboys.
Yeah, so someone who is definitely playing much better, though, was Lyle Collins. He looked much better.
Number 71.
In this past game.
Yeah, he was playing right tackle for a lot of the game. Yeah. They had him in there extra, and they ran towards his side. He blocked so much better. And
again, we understand it's backups, it's preseason, whatever, but we've seen him struggle a lot throughout training camp, especially with some of his hand placement and just overall struggling at that position. So it's really good to see him stepping up. Hollyway, thanks for catching us now. Make sure to check us out later.
Yeah, you can rewatch the stream if we talk about anything else, because these things come up, Eagles stuff and other stuff comes up throughout our stream. We're going to keep it to about 30 minutes tonight, guys, just because it's not really much new news. I just wanted to kind of recap yesterday's stuff.
Rack City, we'll be getting back to our comments on Byron Bell as soon as we're done talking about.
Yeah, we'll talk about Collins. And I want to stress something about that, because we have Bell on our list, too, of guys we got to talk about. Byron Bell. And I agree with you not 100% about cutting him.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't look that good last night. Jonathan Cooper came in the second quarter playing backup center for Frederick because Looney is out. So it's just hard because, I don't know, Cooper didn't really get a chance yesterday to play left guard. Now, I'm sure he will. And Chaz Green, who's still injured, was supposed to play. It was a game-time decision. He did not play last night. I would have really loved to see him out there because if he plays, he's going to give. I think he'll win. I think he'll win the position. So we'll see what happens. But Chaz Green has to stay healthy, or else it will be Bell or Jonathan Cooper. So now Bell, just to be fair, He had a bad game yesterday. He allowed the rush. He allowed pressure often.
Yeah.
You know, from his spot, he had Emmett Cleary on the left tackle.
Yeah,
So Tyron Smith.
And again, we get it. Emmett Cleary is not the most solid guy.
He's not good at all. And that's the point. What I'm trying to say is that's why Bell has trouble. When he doesn't have those two good guys on his left and his right, is when he has trouble blocking. When he's in a space by himself, Bell has trouble blocking. So when he has Tyron Smith and he has Travis Frederick for the full game, I think you'll see a little bit better, performances by Bell. Well, we have to still see it in the games, in preseason as well, so we don't know. Now, we also have to see, Cooper a little bit more too, and, of course, Chaz Green. So that's still a battle up for grabs. I think we'll solidify that, though, in the next 3 weeks. And Lyle Collins, I think he took another big step yesterday in kind of solidifying that right tackle spot. So, again, they ran his way. Hey, what up, Cuco? Yes, Hitchens. Hitchens, I will say, Hitchens had a really great game yesterday. Actually, let's concentrate on the defense now. We talked about the offense. Hitchens had a great game yesterday.
And we understand with that weird kind of lucky
touchdown
that they got. But honestly, the fact that Hitchens made that hit that caused a fumble, guys, we had 6 fumbles.
Yeah,
that game.
We recovered
we
one.
only had 1 recovery. The fact that we had so many fumbles, the fact that we were making.
And the point is that our guys on defense are a hit team. I love that. They're hitting. They are, causing, fumbles. They're causing incompletions. And again, Xavier Woods, the X factor on defense. I'm telling you, this guy, he's tiny, but he's aggressive.
Absolutely
fantastic. I think he was the player of the game on defense over the whole game. Obviously, someone like Hitchens would have probably had a better game. But again, Xavier Woods really showed himself last night. He made some awesome hits. Yeah, he was good very good in coverage. He was involved in a lot of the plays. He was involved in there. He was jumping in there. The whole defense was jumping in there. Our defense was aggressive. Our defense
and again, it was nice to see, of course we saw there's always things where we can improve. We had a lot of guys that we were hoping to see, that didn't play.
Most of them starters.
So, but.
And some injuries.
Yeah, so, but either way, our defense just.
With the guys that were in there.
Seeing them, have one of their biggest problems, which to me was tackling, the fact that we were never, and the fact that we never had turnovers. We had this defense that was supposedly rated average. We had one of the best run defenses in the league. We had one of the best red zone defenses in the league, and yet no turnovers. Yeah. So to see it at least start to happen, to see
we didn't get the turnover, but we're causing fumbles. So that's good. I do think that again. I want to kind of go over this. We're playing without Stephen Paya. We're playing without Cedric Thornton. We're playing without. I don't know if Malik Collins was in there. I didn't think he was in there.
I'm not sure. I don't think.
I know we had Tapper in there. I know we had other like Joey Ivy and other guys that probably not making a team. We had Lewis Neal, I think, was in there, who looked good too, by the way. But he's a guy fighting for that last spot on a defensive tackle spot. So, or defensive end. So he's looking good too. He's pulling up his end of the deal as far as being one of those last guys on the defensive line that could possibly make the team. But I will say that, we're missing those guys. This is the front line. I didn't even include the fact that we didn't have Sean Lee, the fact that, of course, Durant's still sitting out. And, of course, you guys know with Jalen Smith, who'll be playing next week. At least that's what everything's looking like, barring any setbacks or injuries in training camp this week. And in the defensive backfield, we had Byron Jones a little bit. I think we had Carroll out there. We did have Carroll out there, and he was active, making some tackles. Nothing special, but he was out there doing things. And other than those guys, we had Heath. He was there, the usual with me. I'm not really that much of a fan. But again, we had our starting guys back there. Skandrick was back there for our drive. But then, Cheeto didn't play.
He tweaked his ankle in practice, I think, the day before, so they were just resting him.
Right, and then Jordan Lewis didn't play.
The hamstring.
There you go. And so, these are rookie guys. Marquez White, I think I saw him out there, but he didn't do that much. And I think he also was dealing with an injury earlier this week.
From an injury earlier this week, which was was it another hamstring? I
think it was a hamstring. So I'm just saying, all these guys, these are our 3 rookie guys playing in the backfield. What's up, Vaughn Glenn?
Hi, Vaughn.
How you doing? Hit like, subscribe if you haven't. The whole thing. Every time I see a new name, I'm going to say that for Cuco as well and everybody else. But back to what we're saying. Yeah, our defense was not half starters last night, and even the backups, the rotational front line guys. The whole defense looked fantastic. It's definitely good to say and see that. And I know it's not the regular season yet. I know, but we played against their starting team. They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
The reason they scored was because we muffed the punt. by number 14, Lance Lenore, and he's probably not going to make the team. It's going to probably be Switzer or Jordan Lewis running the ball back, so you hopefully won't be seeing that in the regular season. But if it wasn't for that, it was an easy victory for the Cowboys, even with our backups and third stringers, because they wouldn't have had that touchdown fumble into the end zone. So
and thank you,
Vaughn. Appreciate it.
So
we're going back to here. Let's see. A defense. Hitchens. We love the way he played.
Yeah.
He was maybe a step short on that little touchdown play where they fumbled it, but he made the hit that made the fumble occur. And if that was where it should have been, which would have been like about the 40-yard line, could have been a whole different story with that fumble. It wouldn't have hurt us that much as like a touchdown. All that stuff was just luck, but he hit him. All the other shots that were done by Xavier Woods. I love. Of course, we talked about Taco. He had some pressure, and then he got a sack. And he had some good tackles too, stopping the run, ran across the field. We talked about Irving, David Irving, who will be suspended, but he looked the best out there in the beginning of the game. We had DeMontre Moore in the second half of the game. He looked the best out there in the second half.
Our defense has struggled with.
We don't care about wins and losses, though.
Exactly. So, but we personally, our defense struggles with, like I said, turnovers, but also pressure. Which pressure is what helps cause turnovers as well.
Correct.
And to see, again, unfortunately, guys that are suspended, but guys that will be in the game, guys getting in there, putting pressure on the quarterback, just making those plays happen, even if it just is
disrupting things. I thought Tapper, he disrupted some things in the backfield. Number 99, Tapper. He was kind of doing a little average.
Flashes of it. Flashes.
So he came to it. He destroyed something in the backfield a couple of times. Was held on the play. He stopped one of their drives. Irving, got in the backfield a lot. Taco is starting slowly to get in the backfield a little bit better, using his speed, keeping his balance. Good signs, but these are our backups, guys.
Yeah.
It's a very, very positive, second game of the preseason, which really is everyone's first game. So we have a little head start. And again, we're going to be able to analyze these guys for 3 more weeks. So it's going to be interesting what happens. Again, half of our defensive line, most of our linebackers, and after the first drive, all of our defensive backs were benched for the second, third, and fourth stringers, and half of them not going to make the team. So it's a positive outlook, and I like that it went from our best player last night to our worst player last night on defense. They played aggressive. They played smart. They played hard. They hit hard. And that's what we want to see. We want to see that attitude, that us against the world attitude. Probably a lot has to do with the Zeke situation.
I agree. Unfortunately, it was our offense that was a little lackluster.
But there we had a lot of backups.
We had a lot of backups, and we also had Kellen Moore for the complete first half.
Right. And it showed how not good he is. Right. It showed how not good he is, and how scary it is to have him as a backup. Again, and I'm sure the guys people that are on here listening still, there's 7 or 8 of you, whatever, that you guys know that I've been saying this all season long. Well, I just don't like him. I don't like Kellen Moore. Yeah. We've got to get somebody that can do better. He's had 3 or 4 years. It's time. It's time for Cooper Rush. So keep an eye on him the next couple of games. He might be making a run of that second spot, that backup spot to Dak. So now Xavier Woods, I want to stress it again. I love him. I love the way he plays. He's still a little too small. He's still a little too raw to start right now.
Yeah, and especially with Jeff Heath and how consistent the Cowboys see him again.
Which is inconsistent.
Yeah, we don't see it, but whatever it is that they see it.
I'll check that out later, Rack.
Yeah,
it's always cool, those celebrations.
And then who's Sean McVay? Sean McVay benefits from Jay Gruden.
Oh, you mean the Redskins? Is that what you need? Colin? Vaughn, I agree with that. I've been saying that as well.
I think any team could benefit from Jay Gruden. Let's be honest here. Other than
no, you're wrong. Wrong Gruden.
Wrong Gruden.
That's the brother, isn't it? That's the brother. That's the Redskins coach.
Oh, yeah. Is there their brothers?
Yeah, the brothers.
Oh,
yeah, see.
There you go.
But yeah, John Gruden is the guy we want. As a Cowboy fan, I would love to see him out there. The former Bucs guy, but he's an analyst right now, and right now we have Garrett. We're going to run the season with Garrett.
There's a lot of teams that honestly could use Colin Kaepernick as a starter or a backup just because of their own quarterback situation.
Yeah, Baltimore.
We both said that whatever his beliefs are aside,
What's up about football?
He has the quarterbacking skills and he fits our Cowboys playing offensive scheme.
That's the biggest thing. It's not necessarily his passing, because he's an average passer.
Yeah.
But when you have the offensive line we have, when you have the running game, and again, I got to stress another thing. We haven't talked about this at all because Zeke's been gone, but we had Run DMC, Darren Mcfadden. I mean, he played fantastic last night. Fantastic. Nothing to worry about yet, guys.
It really shut down a lot of those, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? Now there's no Zeke. It's like, calm down, relax.
Even if we don't have Zeke,
we can hold it down.
Even without Zeke, for 4 weeks or so, or 6 weeks or so, we still have.
Imagine how much scarier we're going to be
when Zeke's back and pissed. And assuming he doesn't come back right away, because he might not be able to be suspended because of the appeals and because of the injunctions. We'll see what happens. Jeff Heath, needed on special teams. I mean, I'd say keep him as a backup. But again, starting the season, I'm going to say this. I think Heath's going to start. Xavier Woods will probably be playing a backup role. But at the same time, you're going to see him on some dime packages. You're going to see him out there in certain matchup situations. And the guy's aggressive. He's going to make plays, Xavier Woods. So is Marquez White when he gets out there.
Exactly.
Especially Jordan Lewis is going to make plays. Chidobe is going to make plays. I mean, we're going to be making plays out there. And our defense is going to make mistakes. But then they're going to, not all the time, sometimes we're going to blow an 80-yard pass.
Yeah.
But we're going to also make them pay. Last night they caught a couple of passes on our young guys, but we made them pay. We hit them. They fumbled. We hit them. They had incompletions. We hit them, and they just got scared coming across the middle. I'm telling you guys, we'll look good. And, you know, our defense looks hungry to hit. And that just comes from a team aspect from the defense. Now, as far as the offense is concerned and the running backs first, just want to say, Morris looked pretty good. Rod Smith didn't have much to do yesterday. He didn't do much, but he runs hard, and he's good for that short yardage or that goal line stuff. Even if we don't have Zeke now, we have Rod Smith to play the goal line, to play, you know, 3rd and inches, 4th and inches. I can see Rod Smith pounding it through there.
Exactly.
You got Hillman, who did a couple catches. He looked nice out there, but, you know, didn't give him enough time to really, not enough handle. They didn't hand the ball to him enough or throw the ball to him enough. Number 34, that's Ronnie Hillman. So I'd say he's on the cusp of maybe not making the team. We still have 3 more weeks to see what he can do and how if he contribute. And we have Mcfadden, we have Morris. And I'm going to talk about Zeke, so I think we're good. I think we're going to be good on that side of things. And, I mean,
again, we have to just kind of see how the rest of preseason continues to progress. Just because, like you said, just in the last week and a half alone, things have changed so drastically. So, you know, we never know what, hopefully no injuries, but we never know what kind of injuries. We never know what kind of other moves. And honestly, we don't know if possibly the Zeke appeal, you know, the appeal that we know is all coming, we don't know how that appeal might affect some roster decisions as well. If his appeal is somehow approved or repealed or something changes in his suspension before the season starts,
right?
You know, what kind of moves are the Cowboys going to make? So,
and I'm going to go over a couple. We did it at the beginning of the stream, and it was only had a couple people. Now we have a couple more, so I'll go over that in a minute again. I want to address Glenn's questions here. Cap would benefit from our coaching staff. I wouldn't say that for sure. Not from the coaching staff necessarily. I don't. Jerry Jones was one of the people that first was against
Jerry Jones is too opinionated.
Right. I think he made up his mind about not getting Kaepernick, which sucks because I do think that Kaepernick would have helped us more than Connor Rush in the sense that he's still a rookie. It would have been good to keep Connor Rush on like our practice squad.
Gaming, thanks for joining
Jax,
us.
what's up? Give us a like. Now, and I was going to say something else about Cap. Again, I think Kaepernick would have benefited more, not from our coaching staff, but from the way we run our offense. The way we have our offense set up with Dak, I think he would fit. We wouldn't miss a beat with him in Dak's spot for a couple games. I think would be fine. When you have the offensive line and the receivers we have, and the running game, with or without Zeke, we still have a great running game. When you put all these things together, guess what? Cap is going to just, you know, he can play action or he can do the run option. He can run. He can throw short passes. I think it would have been a great pickup, even if he was a little costly. But we need that insurance because you know what happens when we got an injured quarterback, the whole season's gone. And I mean, Moore's not going to save us, and Connor Rush is probably not going to save us either.
Exactly.
He's a rookie, guys.
It really just depends on the injury. If it's something maybe 1 game, maybe 2, depending on the games, depending on all the other circumstances as far as the rest of our team, how healthy they are.
I mean, or the people we're playing, I mean, if they're playing the Rams or we're playing, like, you know, the 49ers, I think we have a shot with Kellen Moore, you know, with our starters, but Kellen Moore, let's say. But I think that, you know, when you look at the Cardinals, the Broncos, and any of the NFC East teams, it's an issue. So that's something we have to definitely look in. You know, I hope that Rush we can be confident enough in Rush as a rookie to come in there if he ever has to replace Dak, which hopefully will never happen. Yeah. But just in case, you know, I think we should definitely have somebody a little bit more experienced back there and not Kellen Moore. So, I want to go to the next question.
Actually, I want to comment. Von Glenn, you said they need to move Collins to left guard and Chaz to right tackle. Honestly, I think that the Cowboys staff feel that way as well. I feel like, or at least some of them do.
I disagree.
I think some of them think that Collins should be moved back to offensive guard, and I think that some of them, you know, are really hoping that Chaz Green can stay healthy enough to play right tackle. And but unfortunately, that's the problem. Chaz Green can't stay healthy. I mean, it's been a consistent problem.
All right, listen. Here's the thing. First of all, Rush can't be the backup. I mean, neither can Moore. But if you want Moore on there, I don't know if I'd feel more comfortable with Moore or Rush. I say, and I said this even last night before the game started, they should put Cooper Rush in there to start the next game. Again, I know we're going to have Dak next game and Zeke and all the starters out there. Let them run a series, and you put in next, not Moore. You put in Rush against the Colts starters and better players. I want to see how he does against a true more a starting defensive front against an opposing team. And if not next week against the Colts, then next week I think he should start if he can get out there. Start and behind honestly, that. See what he can do against a good competition.
And honestly, if Kellen Moore can't somehow manage to look amazing against some third stringers, then again problems. It comes down to showing like how bad does he have to suck before someone can admit that he sucks. And
again, I'm going to go back to Jack's gaming. We're going to talk about Zeke in a second. So I'll get back to you in a minute here. Type in whatever you think you found that's new evidence, because we haven't heard anything about new evidence that makes Zeke guilty.
Mr. Wright, thanks for joining us.
Mr. Wright, what's up?
Don't worry about it. Thanks for joining us as well.
What's up, Husky? Good seeing you here. Ready for tomorrow? We got 2 or 3 of you guys already ready for tomorrow. But now let me go back up for a second about Collins and Chaz. Now, Collins, I was saying that last week. I think they should try him at guard. The Cowboys staff did not do that. They kept him at tackle, and they wanted to continue working at right tackle. And I will say he looks improved. As far as our guard position, Chaz Green is injury prone. A tackle or guard, you can't count on him. So we got to see if he can play these last 3 games. If he can stay in there and play 3 games, I think he'll win the left guard position. I think he's probably the best player, but he needs to stay healthy. If not, we have to have Bell or Cooper to be able to take over. And, remember, these guys are going to come in. Cooper or Bell are going to come in with Travis Frederick at center and Tyron Smith as the left tackle. So they're going to have whoever's in there is going to have a lot of help when you have the complete team. Last night we did not have that. So Bell didn't look as good, and I'm sure Cooper wouldn't have looked that good either. And we don't know how Chaz Green would have looked because he's never on the damn field.
Exactly.
Sorry.
So, and then again, we did see him practicing again, so hopefully he will be ready to go for this upcoming 3rd game. But, will they play him or not, especially with how injury-prone he is? Who knows? So, let's see. Mr. Wright,
now,
can't be a Cowboys quarterback.
And again, this is not. Now, we discussed this a lot of times. I understand why he's kneeling. This is America. It's called freedom of speech, and I really get upset when I see it. Not you, Mr. Wright, because I understand what you're saying, and I know it sucks that Jerry Jones kind of came out with that again already, but. This is America. My opinion, again, I'm not going to get too political, but my opinion, whether it's right or wrong, I don't care.
Whether we agree or disagree with what
he's doing, it's his right to do it. And you and I, have no right to tell him not to do it. This is America. It's not against the law. It's not against the NFL rules. And until they change that, he has every right to do that. So does Marshawn Lynch. So, and again, anybody gets pissed about that, doesn't understand the American Constitution, the First Amendment, and the freedom of speech. Guys, check your Constitution. He's allowed to do it. You don't like it, then don't watch the games. Then don't watch him. Don't buy his jerseys. If he was on the Cowboys, I would not like it. I wouldn't like it if we had Vic on the team. I wouldn't like it if we had. I didn't like when we had Greg Hardy on the team. I don't like that when we had. Let's say we got Tim Tebow, and I don't like him for other reasons. My point is that these guys, aside from that, he stinks as a quarterback. But I'm just saying, he's Mark Sanchez. But again, there's different reasons you might not like certain people. Again, American national anthem. He's not spitting on the military. He's not spitting on on the freedoms that we have in this country and the ability he has to make money. He's kneeling for other reasons, and as you can see from yesterday's tragic incidents in Virginia, I mean, some comments that people, not anybody here, but some comments people have made in the past, I've seen, and some comments that were made yesterday and today about Marshawn Lynch are incredibly racist, and you see why these people are kneeling, because it's still out there. A majority of NFL fans hate these people. They want them dead. They want them hurt. That's insane. It's his right to be out there to kneel or not kneel or stand and whatever he wants to do. It's their right, and you don't have to like it. Don't buy his jersey. Don't watch the games. Whatever.
Exactly.
It's freedom of speech, and I love America more than I love whether or not he sits or stands for the national anthem. Exactly. It doesn't bother me. And unless you're standing every day before every game when they do the national anthem, you got to stand in your living room and put your hand over here, take your hat off, or whatever you want to do. If you're not doing that, you're being a hypocrite, guys. Remember that.
All right. So either way,
that's it. No more politics.
So the point is that all that aside, it's his right to say what he wants to say, believe what he wants to believe. Yeah, but we still think that he wouldn't.
Just as a pure player, we're talking about player, not about his personal views. As a player, he would fit perfectly into our system. Case closed. Out of the guys out there, out of the backups we have, he'd be the best fit for our team, in my opinion. Purely as a player, I don't give a damn what he believes. I don't care. That's his life.
So let's see. Romo got hurt and Prescott fumbled 4 times for pressure from Freeze, man. Doug Free. So yeah, Doug Free retired this year. We obviously do somewhat miss him, but at the same time, no one can deny that he was the weakest link on that offensive line.
Holding.
So
ball start. Doug Free every time.
And he really struggled there that last year. So you know what? I wish him the best of luck in his retirement, but hopefully, his replacement can do a better job. And so far, we obviously still have a few issues with our offensive line with Collins and with Chaz Green and, having Cleary as a backup.
We have 3 more weeks, guys. I don't think Emmett Cleary is going to make the team. I know they probably worked him yesterday to see if he's even worth keeping. And I know we have Looney. When he comes back, he's a swing tackle, guard, center. So, he plays all the positions. That's why he has some value.
Another person who
injured.
Injured.
So, again, we got him, Chaz Green. It's still a work in progress in those 2 open spots, but I think Collins definitely secured it a lot better last night. And watching the film and watching the replay, he looked so much better last night compared to the first game. So just let's give him time. Let's give him another week at that right tackle and see how he rolls. Thank you, Kuko. Yeah. And whoever else, thank you. I appreciate all the comments. We don't have to get a fighting situation, just it's a discussion, guys. It's all good. Everybody has an opinion. You could be against some of the things we're saying or some of the things that are being said in the thread. Now, as far as Zeke is concerned, Jack's Gaming, he brought it up. The Baltimore fan with all the injuries. I want you to tell me, Jack, what you find out there that was new that we didn't mention or post on Twitter with all the evidence that we saw supporting the fact that Zeke is innocent or that this woman, at least that the woman is a liar. And that in itself, that the accuser is a liar and is proven liar.
That with no corroborating evidence showing that the events that she said happened.
Everything points that she had a fight and she got hit and beat up by another woman in the bar fight because she was upset and jealous.
There's eyewitness testimony too.
Yeah, this is not Zeke's friends. These are just people that were there seeing this, and they saw her getting dragged to the ground, pulled by the hair, and beat up by other women, another woman, and I'm sure other people were involved. She was in the street. So, guys, listen. You can say what you want about Zeke. We don't know yet the whole story, I'm sure, but right now, the evidence and the facts. He didn't do anything wrong in that situation. You want to go to St. Patrick's Day? Give him 2 games. But if you want to use that as your excuse for 6 games, that's insane. And if you're still out there, Jax, let me know what you think. Now, Cowboys abroad. What's up? Like you're back. Thank you. Join us back. Hit the likes, everybody. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I know most of you have already. Need a quality replacement. Byron Bell was terrible. We touched on that. Cowboys abroad. Go ahead.
We did talk about that a little earlier. Byron Bell is one of those guys that, and we mentioned this earlier this week in the regular training camp practice, that when he went one-on-one with Paella took him down every single time. But when Byron Bell had good guys next to him, he shut him down. So again, Byron Bell is one of those guys that he shines when he has good talent next to him.
Right.
So
and he has the best talent next to him.
Exactly. So honestly,
I'm not too worried about Bell. I still don't get me wrong. We're still worried.
On his own, we would be very worried.
And again, yesterday with bad Emmett Cleary on one side, and they had Jonathan Cooper on the other side in the second quarter.
One of those guys that
he can't do it on his own.
He can do it.
But either can Cooper and maybe not Green. We don't know yet. We got to see Green out there. He can't prove anything if he's always hurt. And Cooper hasn't shown much in the first game. So really, it's still a work in progress. But again, I think Bell did very good when he had his 2 starters next to him. Not very good when he's in an open area and doesn't have very good starters next to him. So he's too slow. But again, he's bumping this guy here, bumping this guy there, and they got to go through Travis Frederick or Tyron Bell. And Tyron Bell, but they got to go to Tyron Smith, and then they got to get through Zeke or whoever's the running back blocking or Keith Smith. It's still going to be. It's not as easy as people think because we have a weak spot. They might attack it, but we got 2 Pro Bowl guys, probably definitely Hall of Famers on each side of him. That's going to help him. So bring it.
Exactly.
I think we'll be okay, but just give it time. We got 3 more games and 4 more weeks before any decisions have to be made on that left guard spot. But I agree. It's really that's the most important situation, right? More important than our running back because we have 4 running backs that are capable. More important than our running backs is that offensive line. So we got to get that straightened out. And I agree with everybody that's saying that they're a little bit afraid. We also need to get our quarterback on offense, our quarterback situation set up.
That's right.
But our tight ends, Rico, looking great. Our receivers, we know, looking great. We got 85 now. Noah Brown, he's come to play. I think he's going to make the team. And again, this is where we were talking about with the suspensions. Someone like Noah Brown might be waived and maybe picked up or maybe a practice squatter. But because of these suspensions, we have 5 or 6 at least. We're going to have 5 or 6 new spots open for the 53-man roster. We don't have to keep the suspended guys on the roster. We keep them on another list. that opens up 6, 7 spots, which now Noah Brown, Ronnie Hillman, Alfred Morris as well. You got to put, like, let's say someone like 66. I think what's his name, Lewis Neal. He could make it. You got Kellen Frazier, who I don't really like too well, but he might be sticking around a little longer with McFadden, with Leon McFadden. Listen, these guys are the bubble guys that might not be making. Now, a question we asked last night during the game is, what do you think about the difference between? Forget about Rico because he's more like a Witten style. But what about our blocking tight ends, Hannah and Swain? We might only be able to keep one because of this Zeke situation, all these things.
Exactly. So in that position, who do you prioritize? And we actually had different thoughts on this. I personally thought that Jeff Swain is the better tight end and that he fits our overall, Cowboy scheme. I think he has more talent, and even though he might not be as consistent as maybe Hannah, I guess. Yeah. I guess he just has. I just see him as the better overall.
See, I've seen more of Hannah. I've seen more of Hannah because he's played long with us, but he's been injury prone. So that's where he's negative. And the negative on Swain is that, yes, he's also got injured, but he's only had like half a season. So we haven't seen enough of him. I know Hannah can do the job when he's healthy. Swain, I know he can do the job when he's healthy too, but he's only had half a season in his rookie year or second year because he was injured the first year. I mean, so, that's why it's scary, both these guys. It looks like we might only carry one because Gathers is doing so good and because we need to keep other spots open.
Exactly. So now as far as Cowboys abroad, so we did talk about Hitchens and Xavier Woods. I mean, again, Xavier Woods, I love him. Love to see these rookies,
aggressive
honestly,
play.
The fact that he's gotten more play time in training camp because of some other injuries, has led him to this point, because in that first game, we were all wondering, where's Xavier Woods? He didn't even play until the fourth quarter. Now, I mean, all we could talk about all game was Xavier Woods. But Hitchens, man, again, our defense has been hitting hard all game.
I like the way Hitchens...
From the first guy on the field to our scrubbiest...
And you got to remember, guys, Hitchens is our Mike linebacker. So he's going to be a middle linebacker. He's going to be calling the plays. He's going to be, of course, with Sean Lee, too. And, Sean Lee's the leader of the defense. But Hitchens is the brain in the defense, too. He's calling plays. He's audibling as well with Sean Lee. They work together great in tandem. So Hitchens... To him to have a great game and for him to be playing the way he is, he's basically taken up from where we left off last year. Yeah. I mean, he's doing I love the way Hitchens is playing. Noah, here's where we go. I love this. This is what I'm talking about. So we have one guy saying Noah Brown is not better than Andy Jones. See, I disagree. I think Noah Brown is overall going to be better than Andy Jones. Then you got Rack saying Noah is better. Yeah. I mean, you think that Noah is better, and I know some other experts saying that Andy Jones is better, and this is why we play the game.
And again, we're not doubting that Andy Jones possibly isn't better.
Andy Jones is good, but I see more of a future with Noah Brown and the way he played. He didn't drop the ball. He ran hard and strong. He did fumble, knocking the ball out of his own hand. Thankfully, Rico Gathers got that fumble recovery. But again, guys, it's good to see these guys doing so well. The fact that we have to kind of not sure who to pick from, that's a good thing for us.
Yeah,
but Noah Brown, I think he did fantastic. I'm looking for him to continue to do well with Rico and these guys to really push to make the team in that sixth receiver spot. Looks like Noah Brown has the inside slide on that. On the inside, position to get that spot right now. As of right now, guys, things can change every week, every day.
And then Mr. I said, did anyone else notice Damian Wilson was everywhere? I mean, again, I felt like this game was suspension time to shine, because a lot of our players that are facing Damian Wilson.
Was it Damian Wilson he actually put pressure on the quarterback, I think.
Just saying, I felt like this was every single player that is facing a suspension or has some kind of something that's going to keep them on the field.
Had a great game last night.
Had amazing, great games. I mean, David Irving was on fire.
Demontre
Moore was on fire. We had Wilson, who was doing great. I mean, it is frustrating.
Guys, and again, I said at the beginning, but also remember, what's his name? Wilbur. Kyle Wilbur, number 51. He was also all over the place. Got to give him credit too. He's going to be one of our fourth or fifth or sixth linebacker. Yeah. Nasacha, not all over the place, number 53. Mark Nasacha, I'm not really sure if he's going to make the team. He's a bubble guy because of all these other things.
But again, he had a great game this past game, which tips him.
Mark Nasacha?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he missed a couple.
He made a few plays.
I was disappointed in him. I think he missed a couple plays. I thought he missed a couple tackles and a couple plays, but he was there, involved in the play. And that's the thing. The whole team, even the worst guys, they were involved in the play. They were there. They were aggressive. That's what we want to see from the Cowboy defense that we haven't seen in the past.
Yeah,
last year. We didn't see that kind of aggressiveness. I don't care how we were ranked or how many we're getting with our young guys. We might blow a couple plays, but they're going to get hit when they catch that ball over our defenders. They're going to fumble. They're going to drop the ball when we hit them. And this hard hitting us against the world defense we got going on right now is gonna be, I think, more shocking to the league when week 1 comes around.
So, Vaughn, you're saying Jalen Smith isn't better than starting linebackers. I'm going to start to disagree. We had him playing with our first team towards the end of training camp this week. He looked amazing.
He looked great.
You know, there's reports saying that he will be playing week 3
against the Colts.
Against the Colts,
he will be there.
Which again, and honestly, you know,
let's see how he plays then.
Let's see how it goes. But the fact that he's even practicing and looking so great with our first team shows me that he does have starter potential. You know, and we know that the Cowboys like to have, you know, a few players moving around on defense. And honestly, even with his injury, I wouldn't expect him to be a starter. But I do definitely expect him to contribute to the team for sure.
And I think
Ryan Switzer is another guy who we do expect to play this week 3. We expect pretty much all of our starters to play week 3.
Yeah,
that goes for Dak, Dez. We saw Dez play this game. But Dak, Zeke, pretty much every single starter, you know, barring injury. You know, I do expect everybody.
We have to see. We have to wait and see what happens with Jalen Smith, guys. So I mean, he looks great in practice. We'll see him in the games. Of course, you know he's kind of a question mark for injury purposes, but you know I think that he will do much better than we think. He's looking a lot better than we thought he'd be right now.
The Cowboys are going to be very conservative with him because of his injury, and I agree with that 100%. If it takes time for us to see him explode on the field, I am more than happy with it. But again, we've been saying it. It's been 2 years since we've seen Jalen Smith on a football field. We need to see him on a football field
before he plays any games in the regular season, right?
Yes.
And now I want to really go through this here about Swaim and Hannah. I see your guys think. See, it's a big. Nobody really knows who to say. So I think that the next 3 weeks is going to be big, determining that spot. Because if they pick one of those 2 guys, I think it's going to be a close call. Either way, it's good, and either way, it's a chance. Let me roll down here. Damian Wilson, we talked about him. Jalen Smith. Switzer, we talked about. He will be playing this week. Count on that. He was supposed to play yesterday, but it was a game-time decision. They said no. Now, cutting Andy Jones, and I agree with Rack on this. Here's the thing you got to think about, guys. Which guys can we cut that will get through waivers and go into our practice squad? If we cut Noah Brown,
he will get picked up.
He will probably get picked up. But Andy Jones, will he get picked up? I don't think he will. So I think he'll fall to our practice squad. I don't think Noah Brown might not. I think there'll be less of a chance Noah Brown falls to our practice squad. And bigger chance he gets picked up by somebody. If not, and we keep him, great. But don't count on that with someone that's showing, and the buzz is starting to get out about this baby Dez, all right? So when you got that attached to him, you might want to keep him on the team, release Andy Jones, get him back in 2 days after he passes waivers, and then we can get him back on the team and hold him on there. I think he's worth keeping as a practice squatter. I just saw someone saw not Andy Jones, but who was the one I just mentioned here? I just saw his name. About Lenore, whatever. Yeah, I mean, he had a muff punt. He didn't really show much. He dropped a couple passes. He didn't look that great. And again, I know he's supposed to be one of the guys that's one of these, like, you know, dark horses.
Yeah.
Practice squad at best, if that. It's too hard to make the team with 7 receivers. Not going to happen. And Noah Brown has the inside track right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Hitchens will be Cowboys abroad. Hitchens will start. He's going to definitely be a starter, whether Jalen Smith is there or not.
Yeah.
It's going to be Sean Lee at I think the weak side. You're going to have Hitchens in the middle, and you're going to have right now, and you haven't seen him yet, but you guys know him from the last couple of years, Justin Durant.
That's right.
Number 52.
So they just
he's going to be.
Yeah, he's just doing kind of strength and conditioning. He's just kind of keeping himself back in football shape.
They'll get him back. I'm pretty sure you're going to see him this week in training camp. Probably see him in the game a little bit against the Colts, if not definitely the next week.
Yeah, but they're definitely just letting him take it easy. But he's a proven veteran player. They know.
For us, too, he knows our system, too, guys. He knows our system. He played for a bunch of 11 years, you know, with different teams, but mainly with us. And again, guys, Justin Durant is going to probably have to start because of Jalen Smith's not 100% yet back from injury situation, and because Damian Wilson is going to be suspended. Remember, guys, Damian Wilson is penciled in as a starter over Jalen Smith. So if you don't have Damian Wilson, and if Jalen Smith's not ready to come back, then who are you going to put in there? Justin Durant.
Exactly.
On the beach in the Dominican Republic, when we were on vacation, we made a special video walking the beach. You go back 2 weeks ago and check it 3 weeks ago. And I said, it's a great signing. We got Durant. He knows our system. He's a veteran, leadership. He knows Sean Lee. He knows Hitchens. Trust me, guys, we're going to be good at linebacker. And we still have Jalen Smith. We still have Damian Wilson when he comes back. We still have Kyle Wilber.
At the time, remember, we said that still not really knowing Jalen Smith's full status. This was all the way back in the beginning before training camp had even started, I think. You know, when we heard about this, we were scared because we're like, oh, my goodness, that means Jalen Smith isn't going to be ready. That means he's going to be very hurt. And you know, now obviously we're seeing, okay, Jalen Smith is doing great. We're going to hopefully continue to have him do great. We're going to ease him in slowly. But now we have this great, proven, veteran guy, Justin Durant. Like we said, he knows our system. He knows what he has to do, and he's going to go out there and do it.
And again, guys, like what you're exactly saying there, you know? 9 people watching and only 6 likes.
But you know what? No dislikes, which, you know, that's...
that means no haters on here yet.
So, but seriously, every single one of you guys who take the time out to watch us, thank you so much for joining us. We love having these discussions with you guys. And, you know, again, like with the Jeff Swain and the Hannah thing, I mean, even we, you know, don't agree on everything.
Yeah, I mean, she thinks it's going to be Swain. I'm leaning towards Hannah.
Yeah, so, and again,
honestly, we got to kind of see.
We don't know, you know,
we got to see
none
what's
of them
going
gets
on.
injured, but we really don't know what could happen, guys. So
yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
Wrapping up the stream.
About 5 minutes or so. Yeah, we're gonna start because it's a bit. Oh, we said half an hour. It's already 55 minutes, guys.
And we do have lots of things to do tomorrow. It's the first day of school.
For the kids, we gotta take the kids to school tomorrow and a lot of other things. So we get ready for that. But yeah, listen, Jalen, he might be on the short-term list. That's what I was gonna say. Exactly. If he is put on that list, if he is, again, if it's a big if. But if he's put on that list, opens up another spot for our guys. Again, that's what I was saying earlier, guys.
Now, I do have a question.
You have to stay on that list, though, for like 6 or 10 weeks.
That's what I was going to say.
That's
so how does it work on getting him back? You know, if it's only 6 weeks, do we risk waiting until after our bye week? Because does our bye week include that 6th week, or does it like 6 game
It's just 6 weeks, I think.
Okay, so then, again, do we risk,
games.
doing that, having him miss the first 5 games, coming back after that?
I don't think
so. If Zeke's suspension is held in full, do we also risk putting him on that list? You know,
if he can play,
I mean,
if he can,
I don't know.
take care. I mean, we're not getting off yet.
Yeah,
we have 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
But no, I will say that I like the idea of that in the sense of like if he really needs to be, if he's not going to be performing out there for us, you know, Jalen Smith full time, and he's still got questions about his leg. Maybe the PUP is the way to go with him. And again, you guys, you know how the Cowboys and every team does this. Somebody has a little. You know, a little bruise or something, a little sprain that's not that big of a deal. They'll throw him on that. They'll throw him on that PUP list or on the inactive list.
Yeah.
And we can put in some more guys on there. So again, guys, all these guys we're not sure about going to make the team. We're going to have probably 10 spots open extra.
Yeah, and we'll
to put
see
these bubble guys on the team.
Shuffling around as the Cowboys need them, but of course,
someone like Hannah and Swain both might make the team for 5 or 6 weeks.
And then we might cut one later on.
Right, exactly.
Or, you know, again, especially with this big Zeke suspension, it changes a lot of, you know, dynamics, and especially on how long he'll be
suspended. And it's not just Zeke, it's also all the other things, the injuries, the suspensions, everything. And again, I want to say, you know, Hitchens, Sean Lee, and right now I believe it's going to be Durant because Wilson will probably be gone. And we got Wilbur back there just in case. And, you know, probably have to hold on to Nasacha too because of that reason. But again, at the same time, you know, I think we're gonna be okay at linebacker. We're gonna be okay in our secondary. Nolan Carroll looked pretty good yesterday.
City, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Rack City.
And then Mr. Wright, yay! You know, good luck on your daughter's first day of third grade. That's a big deal. So.
We got 2nd grade. Her son's going to 2nd. My daughter's going to 5th. So we got everybody here 2nd, 3rd, 5th. Yeah, we know the deal here. We got to get up early, do a lot of stuff, get the kids to school, get on with our lives, and we'll be back tomorrow night. I'm sure doing probably another live stream. So, you know, make sure you guys keep it, you know, I'm looking at the time, 9 o'clock, probably about 9:30. I think practice is again tomorrow in Oxnard, in California. So we're here,
so
3 hours back. It'll be later. So it'll be a later live stream, not a video. But, guys, you know, hey, we appreciate everybody's comments. We love the fact that you guys come out here and watch with us. Give us your input. I mean, as you can see, if you just look at the stream and you come back and look at the stream, you'll see all the different opinions, what we're saying, what you guys are saying, and how there's 4 or 5 positions that, you know, it's still going to be tight.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
that's what the preseason is about.
Definitively, this is going to happen because we still have no idea what's even going to happen after tomorrow's practice. So,
I like that, Vaughn. And again, you know one guy I have to look at is Skipper, Dan Skipper, number 60.
That's right.
That guy, in the first game, he was doing great.
I haven't heard too much about him, so we definitely have to go back and
check that out. But I do think Skipper is going to at least make the practice squad. At least make the practice squad.
I agree.
And he's a good swing guy, but I think tackle is his position because he cannot be that tall playing guard. There's no way, because especially imagine Kellen Moore back there trying to throw the ball over his head.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough. But Skipper probably be tackle, probably swing tackle each side. You never know. I will see. I'm sure by the 4th and 5th game, especially in the meaty part of what we need to see him, we're going to be putting Skipper in to see if he can handle some better competition. But I've seen him in practice. He's a mean man, and he's 6'10". So we got a lot of big guys on our team. And I'm saying new guys. Skipper, Rico Gathers is new as far as, you know, probably making the team. And we got Noah Brown. I mean, these guys are big receivers, big linemen. I'm very happy with what we're seeing with this. Yesterday was a much more positive game. I don't care if we lost. it was a much more positive game the way things went with our defensive showing, with our right tackle, with our running backs, guys. Be happy because we got that running game still in place with or without Zeke. And, and just the whole thing. I think quarterback, we're shaky. Backup quarterback, we're shaky. I think we're shaky, a couple other positions, but more depth-wise.
We understand that linemen don't usually make the practice squad, but Dan Skipper is kind of an anomaly when it comes to that because of his size.
He's right, though. They don't make the practice squad. And I heard Brodus, if you guys watch the Cowboys channels or whatever, from Dallas Cowboys actual website, Brian Brodus also said that he's a big lineman guy. So, even someone like Emmett Cleary will probably get picked up if we cut him. I don't care about Emmett Cleary. Cut his ass. Emmett Cleary and, Looney, I mean, these guys we keep more for depth and swing positions. We could play 2 or 3 different spots on the line. But Skipper can do at least both tackles, and we can keep Cooper and Bell, and if they're good enough to stay there with Chaz Green. We might not need Emmett Cleary and Joe Looney, but we'll see. We'll see how things play out as the rest of this 3.5 weeks go on and the next 3 weeks of preseason games.
We are so close to football again. I can feel it in the air, but not quite yet. Preseason is still here with us. So, again, we're just got to keep our eyes open during these practices, see what we see
in the preseason, see what happens in preseason too.
Games. And, of course, keep our eyes out on this whole Zeke situation and, just get ready for week 1 of the game.
Guys, we appreciate everything. We're going to wrap it up now. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Another hour here with you guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, let us know your thoughts on the Cowboys, how they did.
Comment below.
If you haven't already, make sure to join our fantasy football league. The link is in the description down below. It is just for fun.
20 teams.
So just, join, have a good time with us.
Or big all-time players, people who have been playing like me for like 15 years.
Or people like me who just started playing about 2-3 years ago. So either way, guys, we're just here to have a good time and have fun. So,
So make sure you join that if you want. We would have like 7 or 8 spots taken out of the 20. So first come, first serve. Slowly but surely we'll fill it up. And, come and join the fun. We all have smack talking in there.
Like you said earlier, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe down below. And hit that little bell so you don't miss any notifications on when we go live or when we post another video. We will be streaming every preseason Cowboys game and regular season Cowboys game. So hopefully you guys can check us out, see us there. And, one
last thing, guys. You know what it is. Go Cowboys!
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Guys, thank you. Be back tomorrow around this time, 9 o'clock or so, 9, 10 o'clock. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. See you guys.